Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Daphne Juwana. Imagine receiving your favorite K-pop comeback, but not as a glossy photo book or jewel case, but as a slim NFC card that you simply tap against your phone. The music loads instantly, zero plastic waste, and problem solved, right? Yet many fans say something is still missing. The thrill of unboxing, the scent of fresh paper, and the pride of a neatly stacked album shelf. Today, allow me to invite you to explore this tension between ecological progress and emotional satisfaction. Our study asked a deceptively simple question. Can greener format perceive the heart of a fandom? By looking at how K-pop fans react to NFC albums, we hope to uncover insights that matter not just to the music industry, but to any creator trying to innovate sustainability without losing a human touch. In recent years, the K-pop industry has undergone remarkable changes, driven by rising environmental awareness and rapid digitalization. One of the newest responses is the Near Field Communication, or NFC album, promoted as a greener alternative to traditional CDs and cassettes. By replacing bulky plastic packaging with a wallet-sized card that unlocks digital content, NFC albums promise easier access and less physical waste. Yet they also raise a crucial question. What happens to the emotional experience that fans associate with holding, unboxing, and displaying a physical album? Against the backdrop of a global climate crisis, every sector, including music, is under pressure to adopt more sustainable models. According to Reuters, K-pop alone produced 119 million physical albums in 2023, and plastic use for packaging skyrocketed from about 56 tons in 2017 to more than 800 tons in 2022. While NFC albums appear to lighten that footprint, they create a new dilemma for K-pop fans, who famously treasure albums as tangible symbols of intimacy with their idols. Physical albums are more than just a merchandise. They are symbolic touchpoints in fan identity. Jenkins described fans as tactual posters who actively collect and repurpose cultural objects to build community and personal meaning. Dufat further explains how owning physical artifacts deepens the effective bonds with artists and fellow fans. However, these studies predate eco-friendly formats that eliminate many of the very elements fans cherish. We still know so little about how fans emotionally process the trade-off between sustainability goals and their attachment to physical collectibles. However, almost no research has asked, how do fans feel when eco-friendly innovations removes precisely those physical elements they cherish? This contradiction evokes cognitive dissonance, which is the discomfort that arises when one's environmental values clash with long-standing collecting habits. Understanding how K-pop fans negotiate that tension is crucial for both scholarship and industry. No existing research has examined how fans interpret NFC albums through the lens of this dissonance. This study fills that gap by exploring how fans reconcile sustainability ideals with the loss of physical ritual and which factors lessen or even intensify the cognitive conflict. This research also employs a qualitative approach with in-depth interviews as the method of data collection. This approach was chosen to gain a deeper understanding of the participants' experiences, perceptions, and the meanings they attach to the topic. The informants consisted of 5 K-pop fans who had experience using both NFC and physical albums. They were selected through purposive sampling based on their active involvement in a fan community to ensure the data gathered will be rich and relevant. The interviews will be conducted online, guided by a structured framework developed around 3 main themes. The first one, the participants' experience using NFC albums. The second one is, of course, their views on sustainability. And the last one is the emotional meaning of collecting physical albums. The data were analyzed using thematic analysis. The analysis process six key stages, which are transcribing the interview recordings through reading of the data, coding, identifying key themes, interpreting the findings, and last but not least, presenting the results in a coherent manner. To ensure the validity of the findings, triangulation was applied by cross-validating responses among informants and conducting member checking to confirm that the interpretation accurately reflected the participants' view. In terms of ethics, all participants gave their voluntary consent to be involved in the study, and their confidentiality was guaranteed in accordance with qualitative research ethics. Please note that everything on this slide is anticipatory. Our main expectation is that the data will let us reconstruct cognitive dissonance theory itself. In the results section, we predict that most informants are aware of the importance of sustainability. We hope that they understand that physical albums contribute to plastic waste, especially due to packaging materials. However, we also predict that despite recognizing the benefits, sustainability feels rather distant for them. It doesn't offer a tangible or emotional experience. For example, we have respondents who will say, I understand that this is environmentally friendly, but it feels like there's no interaction at all. Moving on to discussion, we predict to identify three key themes. First, sustainability as a positive but abstract value. While fans support the idea of sustainability, they feel disconnected from it. The concept seems too abstract, especially when it replaces the emotional and tactile experiences they're used to with having physical albums. Second, loss of emotional and symbolic value. Physical albums are more than just music. They are emotional artifacts. Items like photo cards, poster, and the unboxing ritual keep sentimental value. NFC albums, which are purely digital, fail to deliver this, creating a gap between what fans expect and what they actually receive. This leads to a cognitive dissonance. And third, adaptation through rationalization. Despite the emotional gap, some fans try to cope by rationalizing their purchase. They frame it as a way to support the artist while being environmentally responsible. This is a psychological strategy described by Fastinger as a way to reduce dissonance. We hope to get answers like, at least by buying the NFC albums, I can still support the artist without feeling too guilty about the waste. So, in conclusion, we hope that this study can show that K-pop fans experience cognitive dissonance while dealing with sustainable, yet emotionally lacking innovations like NFC albums. By applying cognitive dissonance theory, we hope to see how fans respond to rationalization, adaptation, or even rejection of this new format. The key contribution to the study is to focus on the emotional dynamics within fandom, something often overlooked in conversations about sustainable technology in the music industry. So, to conclude, we hope that our study can suggest that fans will ultimately follow one of two paths. Some will strike a balance, adopting greener NFC albums while finding new ways to express their fandom, whereas others will stay true to themselves by choosing the format that best satisfies their emotional connection, even if that means keeping physical albums. Either way, the key is respecting each fan's authentic stance, whether it is stay sustainable or stay sentimental. Thank you for listening.